This is Judge Wright. Welcome to Cleveland County District Court. Though some of you may be familiar with court procedure, I know many of you are not. This may be your first time to be in a courtroom or appearing in court as a defendant. Please pay attention as I advise you of the procedures and your rights as a defendant. Please be patient. It is important that each of you understands the proceedings, your charges pending, the possible punishment, and your rights that are afforded to you under our United States Constitution and the Constitution of the State of Arkansas. This court session is for taking up your plea, which is also sometimes referred to as your first appearance or your arraignment. Trials will be heard during a different session. When your name is called, please come to the podium. Before I ask you how you wish to plead, I will advise you of two matters. First, the charges or offenses you have pending today. Second, if you have a right to an attorney. You have the right to an attorney when jail time may be imposed. Before you enter your plea, you should make sure that you understand the charges against you and possible penalty and your rights. You will have to decide whether or not to have an attorney represent you and how you wish to plead. Your choices are to plead guilty, no contest, or not guilty. Let me explain each of these in more detail. You have three choices for your plea. Plead guilty, or no contest, which is accepted by the court on most offenses, or plead not guilty. Guilty plea. In a guilty plea, you are admitting you committed the offense for which you were charged and waiving your rights. An example: I was speeding, and I know that I was speeding. I admit that I was speeding and do not want a trial. I want to waive my rights and proceed with sentencing. No contest. In a no contest plea, you are not contesting the charges and you are accepting that the state or city would prove its case if the matter went to trial. You are waiving your rights to a trial. An example: I do not want a trial and do not wish to challenge the charge that I was speeding. Maybe you are unsure if you were speeding, therefore feel more comfortable entering a no contest plea. If you plead guilty or no contest and your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind and you will give up the rights to subpoena witnesses, to cross-examine witnesses, to testify, to remain silent, and to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. After the court has taken your plea of guilty or no contest, you can provide documents or give a brief explanation of something that you want me to consider before I announce the penalty, fines, or other punishment. Not guilty. In a not guilty plea, you are asking that your rights be invoked at this phase and or to have a trial. An example: I want to stand on my rights and have a trial where the state would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that I was speeding. Or, I do not understand the charges or possible consequences and need to get more information before I proceed. If you plead not guilty, your case will be set for trial either during this afternoon session or on another date. On the trial date, you and the state will have the opportunity to have witnesses and evidence available. It is important that you understand when your case is set for trial because you will not receive any additional notice from the court of the setting. Trial date. If you fail to appear at the trial, a warrant for your failure to appear in court will be issued. Your rights. Before you decide how you wish to plead, please consider what your rights are. You have the right to have a trial. During the trial, you have the right to subpoena witnesses, to cross-examine witnesses, to testify, to remain silent, and to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to the assistance of an attorney. This means you've had a sufficient amount of time to speak with your attorney regarding the matter pending, or you have your attorney present with you to assist in the proceedings if you choose to. Note, if there is the possibility of jail time being imposed and you cannot afford an attorney, you can ask the court for the public defender. Some of the offenses that the court regularly imposes jail time are crimes of violence, which includes battery, assault, terroristic threatening; property crimes, which includes theft, shoplifting, criminal mischief or trespassing; contempt of court; driving while intoxicated; and possession of controlled substance. You have the right to appeal the court's decision. An appeal to circuit court may be taken within 30 days from the date of sentencing. These are your rights as a defendant. Again, if you do not understand your rights or the charges pending against you, you should enter a not guilty plea today and consult or hire an attorney. If you have any questions about your rights, please ask the court when you are called to the podium. Collateral consequences. In addition to the penalty or punishment that the court may impose, a conviction may have other consequences, which includes, but is not limited to, affecting your driving privileges, hunting privileges, immigration status, deportation or denial of naturalization, and or your rights to own or possess ammunition or a firearm. Fines, costs, and other financial obligations imposed by the court are due and should be paid at the time of the sentencing. The court does allow individuals who cannot pay all of their fines or court costs to be set up on time payment. You must make your monthly payments, which are normally set at $100 per month. If you fail to make a payment, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Administrative time pay fee. Arkansas Law 1613-704 requires all district courts assess a $10 per month fee, which is assessed at the first of each month for time payments. Payment of fines and costs. Fines and court costs are paid at the clerk's office payment window, the courtroom lobby. Fines may be paid by cash, check, money order, or by credit card, online, or by phone. A user fee applies to credit card transactions. Probation and community service. If you are placed on probation or ordered to complete community service, you will need to see the court's probation officer, Officer Kat Borman, before you leave the court building today. If you are sentenced to the county jail today, you will need to make contact with Officer Borman upon your release. Failure to comply with the conditions of probation or to complete community service within the time allotted will result in revocation of your probation or in a contempt of court warrant being issued for your arrest. The court imposes jail time and additional fines and penalties for failing to comply with its orders. The probation officer will explain where community service can be completed and how proof of completion must be returned to the court. The probation officer will explain the court's conditions of probation and what your obligations are as a probationer in this court. If you require special accommodations due to a disability, please let a clerk know at the clerk's window or advise other court staff so arrangements may be made. This courtroom is equipped with an assistive hearing system. If you require an interpreter to help you fully participate in court proceedings, please let the court or bailiff know. Individuals charged with driving while intoxicated, DWI, DUI, or are under 21 years of age and has pending an offense involving alcohol or drugs, at this time, please follow the bailiff's instructions. You will be screened by a drug and alcohol safety officer who will advise you of your options regarding any suspension or restriction of your driving privileges. See the court's bailiff if you are planning on entering a guilty or a no contest plea to any of the following charges: theft of property or shoplifting, criminal mischief, possession of a controlled substance, or domestic battery. You will be given a waiver of rights card to review and approve, acknowledging you understand your rights. We will start the proceedings in a moment. Make sure your cell phones are turned off. Follow all instructions of the bailiff. Listen for your name to be called and come to the podium when directed to do so. Be patient. It is my goal as the judge to ensure equal justice in the resolution of matters that are heard in this court. Thank you.